Alright, I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm at work right now and it's my lunchtime, so I want to get started on swapping this tire out. So we used to flip our bikes that way, but you can't really flip your bike that way when you have lights and fenders. So I'm going to flip it sideways. I've got a couple 2x4s to rest the handlebars on. Got the new tire. This is how it came shipped. I don't even know what Highline, made in China. So let's get this. So this video is going to be rough because I don't, people are going to be walking through here, people that I know, or might stop and talk to me. So we don't know, but I'd like this tire to get its shape established before we start trying to put it in. Let's get it all unrolled here. It's going to have silver writing on it. I don't really care what my bike looks like, because for me it's function over form here. So let's see, are we filming? Yeah, we're filming. So I'm not gonna work fast because I don't really work fast. So I'm just gonna lay my bike on its side, and then I know one handlebar is going to go down here somewhere. The other one's going to go right here somewhere. So, bike's not too heavy. So as long as I miss that, you can see as long as I miss that controller, I'm okay. We're sitting on the seat, we're sitting on the bike back rack. Here's the condition of my tire. Pretty bad. So yeah, we're about ready to have an explosion here. So let's see, we need a wrench. And I am not a bike, got an extra tube here. I'm not like an expert bike mechanic by any means. This is probably, since I started riding e-bikes, this is probably I don't know how many times I've changed the tire. Changed the actual tire, not very many times. This is probably the second time. This is a 18 millimeter ratchet. Well, let's take pictures really quick. Seems pretty intuitive, but I always like to take pictures when I do stuff. Just kind of see how those washers were in there. All right. So we should be able to do this by hand. Should have done it with this. These threads are kind of jacked up. So we'll just put this stuff down on the ground where I'm not going to kick it around. We got a washer coming off. So this isn't good. You see how it's hard to see, but my axle has spun in here. I don't know if that just happened or if this has been like this. It's not really very good. So it wasn't in the dropouts. Very good. Another thing I don't have is I don't have a valve stem remover except for the one on my slime thing. That would make this go a lot faster. Wow, yeah, my axle is spun, man. That's really bad. I don't know how that happened. Look at how much. So this is a thicker washer. But yeah, look at this. Is bad news, man. This is bad news. Hopefully I can get this back on. Let me go grab another wrench real quick. Yeah, so probably when this axle was getting, when I put it on maybe last time, maybe it's possible that it twisted on me when I was tightening it. I'm not really too sure. I did this in the dark, so let's see. I'm gonna disconnect the motor, make sure the key's off. So look at these connections on this. Crazy. Here, let me pause real quick. All right. So yeah, these connectors are crazy. So now, hopefully this is gonna, what's up? I'm doing a YouTube video right now, brother. Doing the tire change, even though I don't really know what I'm doing. All right, let's cut this. Forgot to cut this zip tie. We'll just twist it off. They're really small zip ties, so they're not too bad. Pull the tire out. Let's pull the chain off. What is this thing getting stuck on? It's getting stuck on that. I knew this. What do they call this? The drop out, drop in, drop out, something like that. It's totally jacked up, man. But if you keep your, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. If you keep your wrench on it and just kind of move it back and forth. There we go. Alright, so we're out. We're out. Move my backpack. We got a table. It's a mess. I know it's a mess. Don't judge me. These are clean or dirty? Those are. So we don't want to lose. So Shimano bearings. I'll make sure we don't lose these little guys. So that one was on that side. That one looks like it's gonna stay on pretty good. So we don't have to worry about that falling off now. So the decision I'm gonna have to make is, am I going to reuse this inner tube? So it'd be much faster to just pull the valve stem out, but this tire has slime in it, so it's like, this tube has slime in it. Let's put a little force on the tire. Let's stand this up. I could probably get the tire off now. Alright, it'll come off. So, you know, if you want to preserve your rims and not scratch them up, you wouldn't do this. But I'm not really, you know, I don't care if it's scratched up. It's not one of my concerns, you know. I really don't care. I don't think it's gonna affect the longevity of the bike for me, I just want to get it swapped out and get it working, and that's it. So I don't know. Hopefully this video isn't too, hopefully we're getting the right shots in. I'm sure we are. Let's take a look at this tube. So after this is off, that's the cool thing about e-bike tires, is they're really, actually really pretty easy to remove. Let's pull this valve stem out. It's keeping the tire on, that's the problem. All right. Let's check out this tube here. So we got a tube that actually, see all this, how damp it is right there? This is from, look at this tire. I mean, this is like, this material right here is probably 2 millimeters thin. Like, this is just insane. Insane. Like, this is really bad. So hopefully the tire's the right size. I'm not gonna cut into that tire or do anything with it, like, to show how thin it is, because I don't want, I might need it, you know. So let's see what's going on with this tube. You know, I hate to be too much of a miser, but I really don't want to waste my new tube if I don't have to be honest with you. It's kind of like wearing a, your old socks with your new shoes, but that's all right. I don't want to. So the valve stem's actually sealed up. I need it to be a little bit less air than this. This might create a problem. Anyway, so our rotation, the first thing you want to do is you want to check your rotation. Okay, the rotation of this tire is that way. So this one has the arrow on it, so let's put this sucker on. And so when I put new tubes on, I always inflate them before I put them on. So, you know, we're kind of halfway there. I just put the one side on, and then I'll put this, tuck this into the tire. This has more air than I would typically keep in, so this might create problems, but we'll see. No, it just went right in there without an issue. And I push it in onto the rim. Let's get it rotated a little bit, a few degrees. It's real professional right here, guys. I never claimed to be a bike guru. I just learn as I go. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that criticize this method. All right, where's that valve stem at? Sticking my fingers in there. Let's get the valve stem in there. Okay. And did I have a, I don't remember if I had a cap on there or not. I don't recall, but I'm going to take this one off of here because I don't want my tube to pull out of my rim. I'll put that on real quick. So hopefully there's not too much air in this tube for me to push this in. Let's see. Probably not. So I'm just gonna go around and pop this sucker in. Yeah, I mean, e-bike tires are so much easier to put on than regular bike tires. Wow. All right, so while we have this out on the table, let's go ahead and put a little bit more air into it and get the tire. This is probably the most critical part, is just getting the tire centered on the rim. This really looks pretty big, dude. But so we got our bike pump. So let's get a little more. Let's see what this is set at. I think the last thing I aired up was a ball. Yeah, so how do we change that? There we go, bike. And we don't want it on bar, we want it on we want it on PSI, bike, 25. Okay, that's good. Alright, so it's gonna get noisy. Oh, Matt, inflate to 20 PSI, it says. Okay. So this tire doesn't want to take a lot of air, does it? So we'll get like 3 PSI in it. Once we get 3 PSI in it, then we'll get the tire centered on the rim. Actually, we can start now. Let's start now before it gets too... Gotta make sure the back's not popped out. We'll get this... Let's take a look on this side here. Alright, so let's take a look at this. So see how there's this big gap right here? And over here there isn't one. So that's what we have to fix. There's probably a better way to do this. Let's do this. Let's kind of... We might have to let a little bit of air out here. Let's go up here. Yeah, we'll let a little bit of air out so we can drop this. See if this... Oh, that's our problem right there. There we go. So, okay, so scratch the 3 PSI. That would be too much. We already have too much air in here right now. So let's let a little bit of air out, and then we'll get this thing seated in here. Not too much. There we go. This side looks pretty good. Let's flip it over and see what it looks like over here. All right, I think we're good. So let's go ahead. So my tube is already getting all freaking wonky in here. I'm sure there's something I did wrong. But hopefully it straightens itself out. I don't really... I'm sure once we get more air in it, it'll go to its happy spot. So we'll just keep our eye gonna, like I said, there's probably, I'm not a trained professional here. I'm just kind of learning as I go here. Yeah, this seems to, I think if I do that, I think that's gonna help. Yeah. Worst case, we get it on there and it wobbles a little bit, and then we let some air out and get it the rest of the way. So I won't air it up all the way. I'll probably air it up to like 8. It doesn't look like my readout is working. Air is definitely going in the tire, so we're gonna stop for now. I don't think that that pressure gauge is working on that pump. But this looks good to me. All right, so now this is the part that kind of, let's grab a file and let's do this drop. Where's the dropout? Let's do this drop. We need a round file. Let's get a round file. Let's do a round file in here. Oh. This got jacked up right here. Alright, so we need to put this guy back on. So I put this washer back on. It's facing the wrong way. We need to go that way. And we're gonna go, this needs to drop in like this, like this. So we'll pull back on the, all right, let's see what we get here. Gotta get it in the, through the brakes. Where's the brakes? So I might have to open the brakes a little bit. I'm trying to avoid that. I know this is killing everybody right now who's watching this. They're like, why are you doing that? So like, there we go. Just don't feel like messing with the brakes. So the way that, the reason why that axle was twisted like that is just, you know, this little drop in doesn't go down far enough. So it should go down far enough to where this is right here, but it doesn't. So that's why it was all twisted up. But I don't know. That might turn out to be kind of an issue. So let's put this nut on real quick. Get this down to the bottom of that. There we go. That's a little better. So if one of these sides holds the axle, then we're in business. This one's way off. Yeah, I mean, it's, unless you got like a kind of a goofy bike like me, you probably won't ever have this problem. But the way my bike works here, it doesn't. The drop in isn't, or drop out or drop in, or whatever the heck they call it, isn't very good. Let's see. So, you know, the brake right now, you can hear the brake kind of rubbing, but it's not, I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, so let's just, so this doesn't have anything to hold this tire in. That's what's crazy about it. My other bike had a little bracket that locked the tire on in case your tire falls off. This is a pretty sketchy setup here, guys, I'll have to admit. But I think it's fine. I think it's just fine. All right, so now we need to put this on. This is a little weird right here, man. The way that they did this stuff just doesn't drop in very deep. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know really what to do about that. Let's get this on. We're gonna get this on first. So my derailleur guard is all jacked up, so this is the freaking hillbilly tire change here. You can see what I'm doing here. I like don't have a lot of time, so this is how my life is. So I don't care that it's sitting up. I just need this to be flat. So that's all I'm worried about right now. I don't mind if the derailleur guard's bent a little bit. All right. It's freaking hot in here, dude. That's gonna go like that. So let me grab my wrench. So I'm sure the critics will come out about this video. I can't do anything about it. Where the tire drops in, this is just the way that it is. It doesn't go deep enough into the frame. Like the axle's bottomed out, but the nut or the washer that goes on there isn't deep enough to keep it from spinning. So we just kind of just have to live with it. And keep our eye on it. Look at this, it's all frayed. But I plan on riding these bikes usually, you know, for probably only like a year and a half, probably 2 years tops. By 2 years, I'm gonna have 10,000 miles on it, you know, so, and I know I could make it last longer, but for $1,000, I mean, the bike pays for itself in like, I think it's 4 or 5 or 6 months. I think it pays for itself. All right. Give it a So this motor connection is just really gnarly. I have not seen one like this, where you gotta really just like pay attention to what you're doing. Let's get this. We're gonna go ahead and cut this one so that we can see. So we can see what we're doing. This is so there's a little arrow on here somewhere. There it is. So we got our arrow. We got our arrow and we've got our arrow. There we go. So we're good there. All right. So now we just need a zip tie, and then we'll flip the bike over. All right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get zip ties. All right. We're back. We got zip ties. So I need my glasses on. So I don't ever really try to make these too tight. Just make them just tight enough. Don't want to kill it. These bikes, they vibrate so much, like, so you do have to have them somewhat tight. You just don't want this thing to eat in through the insulation, but I've never had that happen. So they don't have a little feed through for this, but I always feel like it's critical to keep this from the away from this area here. So you see, I mean, I ride my bike a lot, right? 130 miles a week at least, just my regular schedule. So it does look like shit, but it'll be cleaned. Like I'll clean it on Friday. I think the last time I cleaned it was last Friday. It's just, I just really kick the crap out of bikes, and that's why we want to get that 1,000 subscribers so we can do the same thing, reviewing other companies' bikes, so that people, when they're, as a consumer, you're going to be comfortable getting a bike that you've seen somebody, a neglectful everyday rider, putting it through the ringer. I feel like that's gonna be my niche. Anyway, so we're almost done here. We gotta flip it back over. Then we're pretty much done. I might have to adjust the brakes, and I might need to clean off. I'll probably wait until Friday, then I'll clean the bike. I don't clean it. I don't spray it off with a hose. I clean it with a wet cloth, and I will oil the chain and do all that stuff on Friday. I usually don't record that, but unorthodox, not real bike people will have plenty of criticism about what I do, but it's just how I roll, man. All right, so let's roll this over. There's screws all over. That's the whole irony over here, is there's screws all over the place. So there we are. Looks like it's made for the bike. Except for this big silver high climb thing, which will probably, I don't know, it looks kind of cool. It kind of matches the wind horse riding. Jeez. So let's see. Let's fix the pedals real quick. Oh yeah, we need to cut. Let's cut these off. So I've been carrying a multi-tool like this for probably 20 years. I always have one of these on me. This is actually kind of a smaller version of what I used to carry, but I always have these. I have one of these in my bag, and I have one of these on my belt at all times, and I use it every day. Every day I use it for something. All right, so we didn't have to use our tube, which is good. We'll put the we're gonna put this on the back one, because the back one is questionable, and then we'll fart around with the brakes on my way home. Let's sit on it. Let's see. Yeah, I can ride it down the hallway real quick. Let's see how bad. See if I'm gonna have to let air out of it or not. Let's see. It feels fine. There. Just have to adjust the brakes, and then we'll be done. There she is. Wind horse. I'll throw my charger under here. We'll get back to work. We'll catch you on the next video.